rookie on this account. You were on an alternate account, and you got placed at a higher level with some names that you'd more expect to see, Iman, Vlad, Simil7 on your main account. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay. What level has this account generally been playing at on your Lucio? Or is it still going down as it calibrates?
Oh no, so yeah, so I've just recently started practicing Lucio, but this was
Okay.
just like an alt. It sits around like 41-ish.
Sure, sure. Okay.
I think at the time I played this game, it was like 39 though, so I
That's
don't
fine.
really
So
remember.
we'll call it 4K. That's generally where you
Yeah.
play it. We can call it 39. Doesn't matter. Okay, so here you are. You've got your setup. You guys are playing a brawl comp with Tracer. They're playing double poke. Fine. So first things first, you have to sort of. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so talk to me a little bit about your basic understanding of what Lucio does in the Ryan v Ryan matchup.
Well, I mean, I'm a tool either to go in or get out in situations. Like I can initiate the brawl, I can call the kite as well.
Sure.
Um, as
How
well as
would
I
you
should be
initiate the brawl?
with my speed amp, probably.
Okay, so at a basic level, if you're just like, hey, we need a Lucio bot, that's correct. Like, that is correct, but I want to go one level deeper here. So what you're generally doing as Lucio to control in the Ryan v Ryan is you have speed, you're offering speed to your Ryan, you're helping move your people around. If you want to set your sim up on a flank, you want to set a McCree or a soldier up on a flank, you might help them move around, but you're offering speed to your Reinhardt. But the other thing you're doing is you're finding a corner that you can help your Ryan enforce. So if your Ryan is playing here, where's your Ryan going to get pushed? He's either going to get pushed from here or from here, right?
Yeah.
So you want to be thinking about playing up somewhere like here, because that gives you a bit more of a vertical angle to shoot potentially over the other Reinhardt shield, to be annoying, to threaten people over the shield. Like, that's what you want to do, as opposed to the bouncing back and forth on the ground that I saw here with the teleporter. But the other thing that being here does is it lets you control the Reinhardt engagement a bit more. You can ride around the corner and boop their Reinhardt in ahead of the team if you
Okay.
want to. Or you can stop their Lucio from doing the same thing, right? Because once you
Right.
run into better Lucios, they're going to do the same thing where they're like, I would like your Reinhardt to come into our concave. Or if your Ryan is getting pushed and you don't have bubble and you're like, oh shoot, we're getting rolled, when their Reinhardt is swinging, you can hit your boop and send their Reinhardt out. So like, boop is your next key thing, and in the Reinhardt matchup, that's where you have the most impact as Lucio. So your speed is the default, but the next thing is sort of this Lucio playing goalie thing that you do up here, and it's often going to devolve into you and the other Lucio are booping each other out because neither of you are willing to let the other get to a place where they can influence the battle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I am very bad about being on walls.
Okay, that's fine. We might not get there yet. We might start with, hey, basics of wall riding, because like this is the master course in Lucio, but the basics might just be, hey, don't be on the ground because it changes your profile. So when McCree rounds the corner, he's shooting at normal head height level, and you want to be at a different level than head height level,
Yeah.
so that he has to move his crosshair, and so that you don't get shattered, etc. But that's okay. Mm-hmm. Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, he goes up.
So that's fine. So we also haven't done any sort of spamming yet. We've been teleporting back and forth. We've jumped across here, and there's very little reason. When we were coming out, we wanted to hop off this wall. So we're gonna get into wall riding just because this matters. Here you are. And you hop off this wall, and there's a couple things that you can do here. Is this poke phase or is this real?
I mean, it looked like poke phase, but then they charged in, so I guess it's real, right?
Okay, but I wouldn't blame you for judging this poke phase, right? Like, this kind of looks like poke phase, but you're right, he's doing this, so if you're on speed, I don't mind. But if this was poke phase, while you're in the air here, you'd be on heel stance. You wanted the speed stance as you popped off the wall to have your momentum,
Okay.
but then when you're in the air, you're frequently going to go to heel stance because it's not really going to slow you down. You set your speed when you came off the wall, when you popped off the
Okay.
wall, and then you swap to your heel stance because it's not very much, but it's something.
Mhm.
you might as well get that. So you do, and then on the wall you go back. Okay, so you were a little late on your swapping to heal stance there, but right idea. And now I'm not sure why you toggled the heal stance there, but okay. Okay, so who are you with right now?
Absolutely nobody.
Okay,
But I
good.
was trying to. I was going to follow my Zarya, and we kind of had a little miscommunication because I don't know if you know A10, but he talks a lot.
I've coached A10 before. Yes, A10 does talk a fair
Yeah,
bit.
he talks a lot. So
Yes,
just
that's okay. Okay. So it just wasn't clear that he was going this way, or you thought he
hmm
was maybe going this way. Okay, that's fine.
yeah, yeah. The
That's
con
fine.
was to meet the Zarya, and then he went the other way. I didn't realize which way he meant. I just knew their Zarya was pushing around, so I didn't realize he was gone until I had turned around.
Yeah, I understand. Him and Emong. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, no, I understand. If the comm was to meet the Zarya, I totally understand why you went this way. But you're adjusting. Mm-hmm. Okay. You're gonna swap back to heals. You're doing this. You're gonna swap to speed. Probably dropped that too early. Yeah. So you're doing a lot of. Oh, it's fighting with us a little bit. You're doing a lot of just sort of right out here. You did a little bit of up on the wall to get out here, but you don't really want to be here at all. Like there's no way out for you right now. You see that? Where it's like if
hmm
you want to go somewhere, you're just kind of stuck. If you play on this wall, you have the option of going around this corner, you have the option of hopping back this way, you have the option of going up the corner but then immediately popping up here and drifting back here. Like, this is a fine place for you, and this is a fine place for you, and this place isn't any more dangerous than this place. So, like, this sort of
Okay.
corner is sort of your
Okay.
friend, where you go, hey, I can pop from here, I can do this, maybe I do ride around here and I knock, Emong out while we go push the McCree. Like there's things that you can do, or you can go
hmm
up here, snipe, but you're really attached to these sort of wall corner things here, and it takes some work. You won't get off quite as many shots as you would here because it's just easier to shoot from here, and you'll have some oops, I broke line of sight type stuff, and they'll be
Yeah.
less stable of a firing platform, but you're also going to get more headshots and you're going to get way better boop opportunities. So it's totally worth it.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I won't labor this point forever because
No,
we'll
no, yeah,
get
that's
to it.
okay. I was the second time when I died was like partially a miscommunication because like he was calming his bubble rotation and I thought he had another one
Okay.
because the previous time when I had peeked out, I had tried. I was like the whole intention of it was to be easy to hit
You
because
were
we were calming that he
sure.
wanted me to tank for him so he
Yeah.
could get some energy so we could push. But then yeah, this time was just kind of
Got it. Got it.
I think I.
Yes.
But yeah, I should have. Though being on the wall makes more sense anyway because I'm not that hard to hit.
No, you're not.
Oh
Like you've
man.
got a little bit of movement, a little bit of a small hitbox, but you were just kind of there. Okay.
Yeah.
Objective lost. New defense point.
Mm, playing taxi. Where are we gonna set up? Heal up our BAP. Good. I'm not convinced that we need or want this amp yet, but I suppose that we did just get the elimination, so we probably won't be pushed. Okay, you're gonna have to go up for the boop. You're gonna have to go up for the boop. Nope. You couldn't because the bubble, but you didn't know that when you didn't go up for it.
No, I didn't even think about it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Again, we're just sitting on the ground here, and it makes me uncomfortable. We could have tried to be like, hey, is this where Reinhardt is playing? No? Okay, let me hop back and ride. Is this where Reinhardt is playing? No, he's over there. Okay, well, that's annoying, and I'm going to have to transition. But you were just sort of on this ground this whole time. Now where you'd
Mhm.
want to be, you're going to transition up to is here, where, again, you can pick how this Reinhardt battle goes, and you see there Lucio is doing just that.
Yeah.
And where did he get to? Oh, well, he went down, but that's, conceptually he had the right
Yeah.
idea. He just got punished for
No,
it.
yeah. I did watch this game back from my POV and from Gorilla's POV because I know Gorilla's a much better main support
Sure,
than I am.
sure.
Plays the role. So I did watch it and try to pick up what I could from it.
Good, good. Amp is fine. You just kind of let him drift there. So we look at this and... That's fine. You're going to transition up to this wall, and then you're going to hop left. And I'm even okay with the amp because, hey, that's a McCree finish right there, or should be. And then you decide that you're going to stay here and even back up and continue to back up. And it's like, he's purple and he's alone. He's probably not going to leave. Like, unless he's calmed that he's hard going to shield. Let me rephrase this. Even if he is going to leave, he's going to hard shield, and then he's going to want your speed to get out faster. So this is sort of like, you're just hanging him out to dry. And I don't like this either. I don't like where you have to go, that you don't have any good wall options. But your wall options aren't as bad as you think. You ride up here, you hop, maybe on the ground for a second, you're here. Like, you do have stuff that you can work with in terms of keeping up with this, whereas you just went, nah, I'm scared. And we can't leave our Reinhardt out to hang. If we look at this comp, the person that we're doing the single most to help is our Reinhardt, probably followed by our Symmetra, then our BAP, then our Zarya in that order. So, like, we don't want to leave our Reinhardt out to dry. So you knew that your Reinhardt was going to come back, so you had decisions to make. And in terms of your decisions to make, you really had two options. Let's go back a little bit further. Your Reinhardt goes down. You need to get yourself out of danger. First priority. Fine. Happens. Now you need to decide what you're going to do. You're either going to enable A10 to try to farm them for longer, so you'll let A10 stay in riskier positions to get more poke off for longer, or you'll help set someone else up. Like, you'll go, hey, I need to set our Symmetra up on an off angle, something like that. She doesn't need help, so really it's going to be, you're going to stay in places that let A10 farm for a bit longer than he naturally would, and trust me, he knows how to do that if he has a Lucio. Or you're going to go, hey, I'm going to go tax our Reinhardt so that we give up a little bit less space, he can get back a little sooner, and we get to have the fight here as opposed to having the fight back here.
Okay.
Those are sort of your two options. And right now, let's see what you're doing. Are you with A10? Well, no. You're not with A10 or Reinhardt, so...
Messi.
I guess the thinking kind of where I was is I was trying to be in a position where I could potentially walk up in speed if I need to get Zarya out, but at the same time help peel for BAP if BAP wants to contest. Because like I'm a pretty avid ML7 fan, and I know he likes to poke in those situations.
Sure.
So I just wanted to.
And I don't
close enough to kinda do
necessarily,
both and
I
not
don't
commit to
necessarily
one.
mind that. I don't necessarily mind the idea of, hey, here we are, we go here. But if that's what you're doing, it sort of becomes a, okay, can you do it from here? Can you do it from here? When you back up to here, Zarya no longer actually has your speed. And your Zarya is going to notice and be like, hey, I don't have the speed anymore. I'm not sure that I'm going to get help getting out. Maybe they're going to think, oh, the Lucio will come up and get me. But if you leave, Zarya's not going to turn around to check on you. Zarya's going to assume that you're going to get Reinhardt, which, hey, that's a valid choice. Zarya's not going to hate that, but they're not going to be like, oh, you'll come get me if I back out. So A10 is going to back out earlier than he might otherwise.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Messi.
You look to deny that, fine. You hear it.
This is gonna make you feel better.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Again, we could talk about pathing choices in terms of, hey, there's plenty of wall for you to be working on here, but I'll beat on that some, but it's going to be a consistent theme.
Yeah, for sure.
For a spam. Did we just not like anything to keep that McCree honest? I don't like that McCree is there. I still see that McCree. I still see that. Like, you don't have the greatest angles on it. We're getting map hacks because it's a review, but you know, even a little bit of spam down that lane.
Yeah. There's some damage. I kind of forget sometimes when I'm playing this character that I should be denying flanks.
Yes, you're absolutely looking at the flanks, and that's a thing. Like, when we're talking about this Ryan battling stuff, that's a big deal, but it's just an evolution of what your sort of normal job is of, oh, if they're pushing and they have McCree up here, Reinhardt here, Zarya over here, well, you'd love to dump McCree, but it would also be pretty good to force their Zarya back to their Reinhardt, to deny them angles like that. So in general, you want to be thinking, okay, how can I deny you guys flanks, with both with spam and with boops? Okay, so where should you be right now?
Definitely on the wall or not in the LOS of that Hanzo.
Sure, but you have 3 wall options. You could be on this wall, you could be on this wall, or you could be on this wall. Which wall do you feel comfortable with?
I would probably be on the wall closest to my right, just because I would feel. I mean, that's probably the wall I would pick, just because I'm not super confident in my Lucio mechanics to be able to get out if I go farther.
That's fine. I can tell you a better Lucio would pick this wall. This wall is just too dangerous. It's not high enough. There's the Reinhardt shenanigans. A better Lucio would go for this because they have the angle to influence here, and they can go. I'm believing myself. I'm going to push this Hanzo. Like, it's a challenge, it's a risk, etc. But you have the option to go, I'm going to dump this Hanzo, or I'm going to push this Hanzo, or I can stay out here, influence this fight. I can, if the Hanzo looks at me, I go out here. If they look at me too hard, I go out here, maybe go like this. But that's fine. I don't mind you being on this wall. I don't really think it protects you from the Hanzo, because the Hanzo is going to come over and peek. But I'm okay with it. You can transition to this wall quickly for a boop to influence the Rhine battle if you need to.
Okay.
Oh, this is my jam.
Unfortunate.
It kind of got rolled.
But again, there's influence that we could have had on that. Like, as we look back on this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they hit that. That sort of pushes us back, and we're potentially okay with that pushing us back. The Hanzo's there, and that's annoying. But we definitely have the option to go, hey, we're not going to let them in. We can spam from here, which is just we're off-angling a little bit with our Zarya. That's totally fine with us. We can do that. We go back here, and I don't hate that, but we can off-angle here with our Zarya, and then when they push in, we can go, oh, and now we're going to try to boop you out, try to keep you out if the Rhine actually tries to swing. We're not going to be able to go at the Hanzo. This is scary over here because of the Hanzo, but this isn't it's not the end of the world that you come back, but the off-angle over here, or the, hey, maybe I'll just sit back here and healing for a second and then poke, like, you have options.
Okay.
And then as soon as the Hanzo hits you, they get to grab. They're not worried about beat. And you're going to have to do a bad beat just for sustain here.
Oh, let's break it. Damn! Time for an encore. Oh, let's break it.
How many people are looking at you?
I think just 2. I can't tell if that Kree is, but Reinhardt and Zarya are. Oh, maybe 3.
No, Reinhardt, I'm not convinced that Reinhardt. Now he might be turning to look at you. He was going this way. Emong might be turning this way to look. McCree was shooting at something up there. Yeah, car wash. I'm looking at this and I don't like it. These came out at roughly the same time. I saw this went just out, but you want to be careful about stacking defensives, which is beat and lamp are both going off at the same time here, which is a little disappointing. You don't necessarily know that that's going on, like you don't know that that's the thing. But I'm looking at this and you just came out here and blindly beated, and you're Lucio. You're pretty slippery. It's unlikely if you do this right, as you come out here popping off your walls, that you're gonna just get insta-deleted unless you run into a flashbang or get caught by a wild pin or something, right? Like, you have a moment to appraise the situation, but if we look at what you did,
Time for an encore.
like, you don't have long. But as we look at this, you're here,
Oh, let's break it down.
you're beating here, and it's not going to get anybody. Like, you're beating here, it's not going to get anybody, because even though you know how many people are alive, you haven't really paid attention to where they are in terms of their ability to get this beat. And also, you're not an age changer. I'm not convinced that you want to beat yet. Like, I'm not convinced that that extra health is worth anything yet.
Right.
And, okay, those two were able to get it, which is good. Oh, boy. A shatter just went off, and you're on the ground.
Yeah,
That's that's not okay.
Yeah, that scared me. I was surprised that it hit me.
Okay. And again, a shatter just went off. Emong probably isn't the person to be going after right now. You want to be looking at what did he shatter and can I deny him? Because a boop, even if it just denies him for a second, he has to get close to his targets. All he's got is his Fire Strike, which isn't the most stable aim in the world. If you boop him or he tries to pin, that's super not stable, and he could end up going off there, which would be great. So you want to look after a Shatter. Is there a Reinhardt I can deny, or a Reaper?
Right.
Because those are the heroes that really need it. Not, oh, I'm going to go help this Zarya battle go on. Like, who cares?
Right. I kind of just the thought behind it was more like, okay, I know a squishy got shattered because my Reinhardt isn't out.
Right.
My Zarya is my win condition. I'm just gonna go try to peel for her and
Sure.
hope we can win the fight. That was kind of the thought behind
Yeah,
it.
no, I understand that. It can literally just become, though, if he'd gone for this pin, you just hard deny it, and that's great. Oh no, that's your Ryan.
Oh, I didn't even realize my Ryan was out at that point. Okay, well that's just an awareness thing on my part.
All good, all good. But it looks like Flats did go for a pin there, actually. Let's take a
He
look
did.
here.
Pretty sure.
Right, so you can hard deny that pin in case there was any threat of him getting it. And even though it's like, hey, our win condition is the Zarya, yeah, and A10's got a lot of energy here, so keeping him alive is definitely value. I just don't think you can keep up. Like, I'm looking at this and going, hey, if you were really in the place to make the difference here,
Yeah,
Oh,
it
let's
would have
break
been
it down.
not beating there and helping with the shatter.
right? So right, like you're already too far away. Like, yes, if you're already on the wall, you might hop to this wall, hop onto this, hop here, and be like, nope, I'm with you, and he's right here, and you've made the difference. But with where you are right now, it's definitely go see if there's anything you can do to influence this battle over here. Because remember, I think Zarya at max energy is like 180 damage per second, and Sim is like 170. Walking around a beated Sim that's high charge is pretty darn scary too. So you don't have to be over here. Like, yes, you might be thinking, hey, Grav is our win condition, and it might be, but Sim can do some work. So. And you have the easier job. Like, you can offer speed to either of them. Maybe you help get the Grav over here, which is great, but you can more easily mess with the Reinhardt than you can the Anna or the Zarya.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Good.
Привет! Delegator online. I have opened. Enemy contact.
This is okay, but I'd prefer you here because I do not want them to do a speed amp jump to here. They're probably
Right.
not going to do it, but if they do, that sucks, and they have a huge advantage over the point. So I want you here where you can go, I'm going to hit a boop. I might not get all of you, but even if I drop 2 of you, as long as I don't die to a Kree Flash, we're good. Yeah, like you could have either taken this Zarya, not let her up, or you could have been like, okay, you had to use personal to do it, and either one of those is a win. Okay.
Физкультный привет.
This is gonna make you feel better. Please.
No, we don't leave. We want to let A10 milk as much snowball potential as possible. That's just how Zarya works. So we want to sort of be like, nope, we'll let you do what you need to as long as you want. Unless you have something more important to do, which you don't right now.
Check this out. Now we accelerate.
Fire at will.
This is gonna make you feel better. Scoot on a shot. Yeah, let's move it, people.
Oh, if you watch any of the stream highlight channels, you might have seen this today. Emong is about to throw a grav through that pillar.
Oh,
It
yeah.
goes like
Yep.
right through it. It was very awkward.
I didn't see it, but I've seen it. I've seen that before. So. Oh yeah. It's,
Barrier on. Go. Ready for battle. Russia. Огонь по готовности.
okay, that is fun. I mean, you know you're wrong to have. Like, I understand why you popped amp here, but
Огонь по готовности.
yeah,
Oh, turn it up.
amp fine. See the dragon already need to be on speed. Already have to be on
Yeah.
speed. Okay, looking at our ult balances, you know that they just used grav, you know that they don't have beat, you can potentially run them over, but let's see what you do.
Oh, let's break it down.
I
do
do
here.
beat here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but again, just reminder, this is sort of the area we'd like to be playing in. We'd like to go, no, Hanzo, you can't have this. We'd like to be able to influence the Rhine a bit more. Okay.
Right.
And you do this. Were you on comm saying that you were going to beat? Were you doing anything here? Or
Yeah.
Was... Okay.
Craggy was screaming that he wanted to go aggressive, so I gave him the beat.
Okay. I don't mind that. I'm looking here. Let's just look at this one more time.
Oh, down to accelerate. Feel the healing beat. Oh, let's break it down.
Unfortunate. If they trusted you, so the way that this would generally work is if they trusted you. You've played Zen, you know how to. I don't need to explain how the beat offensive
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
works, but it becomes a. He wouldn't have backed out from this. He'd have just trusted that you were going to beat him to let him continue to aggress because that
Yeah.
was what you were calling for. Yeah, or he was calling for. Over there, interesting. Okay, not even
Yeah,
up
I
here.
thought it-
Over there.
I thought it was behind me, so I tried to get around the corner.
Sure.
Because I thought it was up and behind me, and then we comped it was in the
That guy,
health
yeah.
pack room.
Oh boy. I believe. Good.
Hands up.
I'm gonna be critical for a second here. This is good.
60 seconds remaining.
Okay. How much damage does a Rhine Swing do?
Jeez, 75? Is it
Used to be.
exactly 75?
Nope. It used to be exactly 75. Now it's 85. So get yourself up to
Okay.
86 health. Does your Zarya need help to chase down this Rhine elimination?
No, she does not.
Right. So usually I'd be all for, hey, it's speed, let's get the staggers, etc. But you're going to be in here doing stuff. So you know what? Forget your team. You want a little bit of help. 82. And now you're pushing in on a Rhine to get the finish. You're going in hard.
Yeah.
At 82 health, and now you're at 95, so it's fine because I don't
But
think that was.
I
Yeah, but
definitely could have died there.
exactly. Okay. I mean, we'd go back a little harder to set them up, or we'd stay forward a little more to do this. But either way, this sort of middle, I can respond to either isn't exactly right.
Feel the healing beat.
Hmm.
Move to the beat. This is
30
gonna make you feel
seconds
better.
remaining.
Okay.
This is
30
gonna make you
seconds
feel better.
remaining.
Okay. I'm not really convinced that amp was necessary. Like the
Yeah,
boop, I understand. Go ahead.
That one was pure panic.
Okay.
Just like I'm gonna take a whole bunch of damage.
Got it.
And
Because
then
the
I got
thing
around the
is,
corner.
again, you get out pretty fast. Like you're Lucio, you
Mhm.
have speed, you have walls that you ride on for your acceleration, and it's like you're already around the corner. You can just be on normal heals at this point, or you could stay speed and trust that ML7's going to get you because he'll probably weave and get you.
Yeah, he probably will. This is just like it's a character I've never really been able to limit test on. I would say almost every character in the game besides I would say Brig and Lucio. So like I panic a lot on these characters, which is just
Sure.
gonna come from playing it more. I know that.
Yeah. All good.
So
All good.
yeah. A lot of times I think I'm gonna die when I'm like, oh no, I have Inspire or I have a lot of amp healing, and then I get domed by that guy.
Walter, your friend. Again, because the thing is, like, if you try to be like, how survivable am I as Lucio when I'm standing in the middle? Not very. But when you have walls, you're pretty darn slippery.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's sort of junk time, so I'm not super worried about it, but Lucio's one of the better heroes during junk time, so we'll cover it.
Yeah. That was like, I think this was like 99% just me being mechanically not great because I tried to get on the wall and then I slipped.
Oh boy, okay, so here you are. And I'm looking at this, and I don't even like this approach. I want to keep them contained. I don't like that you're going here. This might be you slipping, but I don't want you here. And you probably did mean to ride this because you want to dump these guys this way, sort of contain them in the middle of the point. You want them all sort of in the middle trying to shoot outwards as opposed to spread out where they can do a little bit more work.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I tried to secure myself back onto a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have looked at that and said, hey, let's go up over here. Like, someone else was touching point, so I'd have been happy enough to go, let's go right back up over here and then do it outside.
Right.
But
Yeah,
that's
that
just
would've made
being
more sense
aware
to
of
me.
how many people are on point.
Power of destruction. Ready for
Move to
battle.
the beat.
Okay.
Ready
I am
for battle.
loving this.
Okay, so obviously, big things we're seeing so far is we're seeing your wall riding decision. We're seeing you not paying enough attention to your Zarya when she wants to stay late to milk, ult charge energy, etc. We're seeing not controlling the Reinhardt battles enough. Those are kind of the main areas that we're seeing so far.
Defend objective A.
Oh, can I ask another just a question about the Reinhardts? Because like
Of
I
course.
do I understand the enabling DPS and Zarya counting Zarya as a DPS in that sense.
Sure.
Because big damage. Other than the shooting over shields and looking for the different boop options,
Mhm.
are there other ways to influence the Reinhardt fight besides like the amp, obviously?
Well, even just the speed itself, even one having speed while the other doesn't, can be a difference, just like a tick of May. Like, the amp is, of course, a big deal because it's the big speed gain. But no,
Hmm.
you're mostly looking. I mean, I'll say no, but like, of course, you're putting some pressure on him from above. You're doing some damage to his backline and keeping them out. So there's things that you're doing that matters. But no, what you're really looking for is, hey, I'm playing a corner, and I'm looking to boop him either in or out, depending on how the fight is going. I'm looking to have my speed available to him rather than being over here where it doesn't help him. Unless there's something specific you're doing, like going, no, I'm setting my McCree up on this flank real quick, and then I'm coming back. I'm setting my Reaper up over here. Those are fine, but most of the time you're looking to be, I'd like to play in a position during the actual battle itself where my Ryan is getting my speed influence, where he'll be able to get my amp, and I can contribute to keeping stuff in or pushing stuff out with boops. We're not looking for much beyond those things other than, yes, you're going to put out your spam pressure. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
good. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure because
Yeah, all good.
I'm taking notes and I can't always keep up with what's being said. I don't write very fast.
That's totally fine. If you need me to repeat things, that's no problem at all. And also, I am recording this for you, and I haven't always uploaded all of your stuff in the past because it's been scrim stuff, and we haven't super talked about that. But this is just a
Oh, right,
regular
right, right.
game, so I'll probably upload it, and then you can
Okay.
rewatch it if you want.
All right.
Nothing's gonna stop. Healing boost.
Yeah, we were calling left, so I was expecting a shield, but that's I was memeing Craggy about that one after.
I bet. Yeah, I'd expect the shield too.
Healing boost.
It's fair. Okay. You can do the let your team sort of go first thing. You don't need to be first in because your aura extends past, and when you see your team is actually going, you can go wallity hop, wallity hop, wallity hop, but we'll deal. You expected the shield.
Let's up the tempo.
I mean, this is over. Good. Speed was right, not heals, but okay. They weren't safe yet, so you wanted the speed.
Right.
Here, let's pick it up. Ooh.
My teleporter is
Let's get
online.
patched up. Let's up the tempo. Gonna make it feel
Good. You're
better.
trying to make your decisions. You're gonna want to boop to slow
Oh,
this
is
down.
my jam.
Okay. I'm a little surprised here. So I'm looking at this
Let's get
battle.
patched
I
up.
guess I'm not surprised here, but we'll comment on this. You go here, no problem. You're here, and your first thought is enable my Zarya. Good thought, not a ton that you need to do because your Zarya has high ground advantage. Then you hear the Reinhardt, and you go, hey, speed for my Symmetra is probably better. Yes, speed for your Symmetra is better. Good stuff.
Gonna make you
Okay,
feel better.
still fine with me. Didn't work out quite how we liked. We're behind in this fight. You can see that your sim has taken meaningful damage, so you're on heals. I'm okay with that. But she's not down yet, and she's getting your heals. You saw that, I believe, the bubble already happened, and I could be wrong. I thought I saw the bubble come out. My
I'm
thought
pretty
here,
sure. Oh, sorry.
yeah, my thought here is I don't want these guys coming in. Like, I don't want these guys coming in, so I'm going to be in a place, I'm going to try to get up here if I'm good, but I'm going to be in a place, or maybe over here so that I have a different angle, where I can potentially boop them to fall back down to buy more time, because my Zarya and Sim are going to be better shooting into this than these guys are coming out, but they're not ready right now. My Sim took too much damage. I also want to buy more time for my Sim to set turrets up. So I'd like you
Right.
to get over to here without walking in front of it. If this is the best you can do, so be it. And I want you to try to hit that boop. If they have the shield up, so what? They have the shield up and that's life. But I'd like you to be in a situation to do that.
Okay.
Oh, this is my
That makes
jam.
sense.
Instead, you're here and you hit the amp, and I can live with the amp. And then you go, oh, I'm going to go, I would hope here, like, it's a frame decision here, but I would hope your decision would be, can I knock him off? Can I knock him off? That would be the next best thing. Like, that might feel like better of, oh, it could have been a knockoff, but you didn't know that this opportunity would show up, so investing it here would have been preferable.
Okay.
No. Got you good as new.
Greetings.
Who plan on fait? Is it hot in here?
Objective A captured.
No
New
time.
defense point. Objective B.
Bring him back. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
time to heal up.
It's fine.
Raising the
You're gonna-
volume.
You're gonna hit speed amp here, okay.
Let them out.
And then you're gonna swap it to heals?
Under attack.
Interesting.
Nope. I
Okay.
forgot.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, I just forgot.
It's just the sort of thing where it's like, hey, I know that, okay, now ML7's back, but I know ML7 was going to be late to this fight because we saw him get
Mhm.
picked in the weigh-in, and I'm like, you're not doing much healing. Like, yes, speed is better than healing, but I'm thinking about this fight, and when you think about this fight coming into it, your rules sort of change. I am the biggest speed advocate, but you're at 75% ult charge, and you're the only support. So I'm looking at this and going, I would like to be healing right now. I'm okay on speed.
Mhm.
But I'd like to actually get this ult charge off Tracer. I'd like to speed to get up to my Reinhardt. Okay. He has plenty of barrier available right now, right? So speed is okay to help him close, but I'm also okay playing for some healing if that's what I can get. If I can get more than just him, it's just him, so we'll go with the speed. Now he's in some real health trouble, and I'm looking at this and going, I'm 17% of the way to 17% left until beat, which I might need to sustain this fight because we don't have real healing, or our healing is a couple seconds out still, maybe only a second out at this point. So I'm looking at this from you're close enough to beat that you might want to hit an amp heal just for the ult charge so that you can beat to sustain it type thing.
Yeah.
If you guys are serious about this fight, and you should be serious about this fight, because even though you guys lost someone immediately, you then traded back for 2. So this I'm looking at and going, absolutely, like, yes, I get that your Reinhardt would love to get closer to Emong to swing at him, but I'm looking at 2 people that are missing a bunch of health. Healing tanks isn't great with amp, but it's going to get you most of that ult charge. If you also take a volley of shots at Emong, you have beat, and then you get to beat, and then you win. Like, that's how I'm looking at this.
Let them out.
I think, yeah, I just kind of brain lagged.
I am loving
All good.
Did not swap it to heal.
Yep, it happens. You're not comfortable on the hero yet, so things aren't just automatic the way that they would be. You're having
Yeah,
to...
like,
You're having
it
to...
takes a lot of conscious
Right,
thought.
Well, right. You're having to think about these things instead of having programmed 80% of your gameplay as habits, right? Like, the way we actually improve is knowing everything about the game. Like, I know tons about the game, but that doesn't mean I can play every hero at a 4,700 level, even though I can coach players at that level, because I haven't built those habits. And it's the same way with you on Lucio. Even so much of your stuff you have to actively think to do, and that won't be the case after we, semi-permanently establish okay, when I'm in a grab, I swap to heal aura. When people are purple, I swap to speed aura. Like, these things just become automatic, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I am claiming the objective. Reality bends to my will.
Oh, this is my jam. Be there by-
No?
Oh, yeah, so around, I think... Oh, yeah, it was around here. I'm about to get up to... I go up to about 1,000 ping.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
just kind of standing here doing absolutely nothing.
Got it!
And then all I hear, because the comms were all, I can't hear anything.
Right.
So I'm just thinking like, oh shit, I have beat. I should be spamming Q, and then I press Q just in case, like, I don't know, something happens in the next second. Cause,
Okay.
everything on my screen is kind of darting.
My no is actually towards your amp heals. Like, I'm looking at your
Oh,
team and
okay.
going, why are you spending amp right now?
Reality.
But maybe if you are in a situation of, hey, I can't see, I better use my abilities, I can understand that. If you're not lagging yet, I'm not sure why you're... amping
it's
here.
it's like right here where
Okay.
my crosshair just stops moving is where I just start
Okay.
lighting up a storm.
Okay, well your crosshair's still moving, so that's just a bad amp then. Because
Yeah,
I'm
that
looking
was a
at
bad
this and I'm like, you're mass healing your team. Tracer's the only one really missing health, and you have a sim wall up. You guys are totally fine.
Yeah, it's about right here where my
Yep.
yeah, there's where my ping just went a billion, and I knew I heard the BAP ult.
Sure, sure.
So I'm just like thinking, okay, I better just use it just in case.
Which means they're gonna get the better beat, but you guys are still up.
And then I come back about here. And then,
Okay.
My ping is settled.
Cool,
At this
cool.
point.
I hope we can swap to speed for our massive speed team, like our Ryan Zarya sim. They're gonna love that. I can hope. I can hope.
Yeah, you can hope, but it does suck.
Okay.
Round 2.
Like I said, I'm a little bit of a bot on this character. I have no business being in these games.
I get it. I don't know if you saw Rack Attack was playing on what? Rack Attack was playing in Tank Q in Masters, of course, and he got a game last week where it's like, oh look, there's 9 Owl and Contenders players on their mains in this, and he's sitting there at Masters on Diva, and you've got the same thing going on here, where it's just like, what do you do?
It's just, yeah, whenever, even on my main, when I get games with ML7, it's just, it's awkward, because I mean, I want to ask if I can play flex support, but then I know he's just better than me, so do I just suck it up and just be a bot on Mercy or Brig or something for a game?
I hear you. I can't answer that question for you, but I hear you.
4,
Instead, we'll work on your main support.
Yeah.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
My teleporter is online.
Hmm.
Yeah, time to heal up.
Okay, what is speed doing for your team right now? Okay, you swapped heals too. Well, what is speed doing for your team right now?
Not much, but I was trying to calm that I thought we should push that right side, so I was trying to get everybody to kind of get over to that bridge.
Okay, you have something you're trying to encourage. Fine.
And then we don't, so I go down here.
Gonna make you feel better.
Okay, so again, some Ryans are battling. Where could we be playing?
I was thinking I should have forced that soldier off,
Okay.
but then I got scared that I was gonna die.
Yeah, so it's a decision to make, right? You can try to ride up here, and what's probably
that's
going to
what
happen
Lucio.
is Gorilla is going to. Well, it was like this soldier. This isn't soldier either, but I'm like, I don't think you're denying that. Denying this soldier is fine. Denying this Hanzo is fine. But what would usually happen is you'd either go, I'm going to push here, but that's too scary because BAP has a sightline on me, so maybe you don't feel like doing that. So your other option just becomes, well, that's fine. I'll ride around this corner for just a moment to pop up here, and oh, there's a Hanzo I didn't even realize was here. Let me dump him off, etc. And then maybe I'll drop back down, do it, and then I'll ride back up again and go try to challenge their Lucio for space, where I'll come in and boop him off, etc. And you're offering your speed aura to Reinhardt for most of that. When you're up here, it works. When you're over here, it's potentially not going to work. But these are very short little trips up over here.
Mm-hmm.
Up the tempo.
Oh, they're doing what you want. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was. I watched this back because I wasn't sure if I had hit something and jumped, and I think I had just swapped speed, gotten a bit of momentum, and then I had a Zarya shot just boot me into the sky.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sad about that.
Yep. Again, your real path was, hey, I'm here. Let me just hop off this door frame with speed. Again, it can be I'm here. I hop off the door frame with speed. You choose whether you're on heal or speed in the air. You might want speed this time because you're helping your team rotate, and then you'll land like here-ish, and you'll go, yeah, I can cover that last distance.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense than what I did.
All good.
Yeah, let's move it, people.
The objective is mine.
Feel the healing beat.
So even for this poke phase, we don't really want to be doing too much of this. We're happy to go, hey, I'll shoot you from here a little bit. Maybe I'll hop over, shoot you from here a little bit. But that's fine.
Okay.
Let's get patched up. Yeah, let's pick it up. Let's see. You hear that? Heal up.
Okay, you were a little late on that. Like, I look at this and I go, this is fine. You decide to speed here. You're still on speed. You take the fire strike, and your reaction to the fire strike is amp, and I'm not sure why it's amp speed. Like, I look at this and go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, we were calling. We're like Craig is lagging a little bit behind, but we'd called just to hard push that guy.
Okay.
So I was trying to get everybody up the stairs.
Okay.
No, I probably should have started on heels though, right? And then swapped
Well,
it to
no,
speed.
I'm actually okay because you were on speed here. You were already on speed to get here, and then you pop this amp, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, you don't necessarily need amp for yourself because ML7 will get you, but you're actually going to turn around in a moment and see that.
Yeah, that my Reinhardt isn't with
Well,
us.
not only is your Reinhardt not with
and-
you, ML7 is also missing health, and it's more like you've already committed your E. Rather than make him spend his shift, you might as well go, okay, I'll give him the tick of heals at this point.
Right.
Heal up. Showtime.
I believe. Okay. Oh boy. Been nice knowing you.
I don't know how I didn't die, but I did not. Would have been smarter to go down and right, but.
Wow.
Oh, that's perfect.
Wow.
You gotta love dyslexia.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure that's him, but I'm pretty sure it was him. It sounded like him at least.
Sure. I don't keep track of everyone's alt names, but it's just like, okay. Sure. So we'll go back this just because, we have a couple minutes left, so I can go back and explain this adequately before the high noon shenanigans.
Heal up. Showtime.
Here you are. So I'm okay with you shooting this, with you not pressuring the Rhine, with you not pushing at the Rhine because you don't necessarily need to. But now we look at this and okay, so now the high noon's out, so I'll deal with it. But let's pretend high noon's not out. Let's pretend they don't have that at the table. What is your job?
I mean, if I realized the Hanzo's there, probably force the Hanzo out first, right?
Right,
And then
right.
contribute to the tank fight.
Exactly. You just go, hey, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go here, maybe drop up. And now let's see if I can boop you down. Yeah, you'll climb back up, etc. But I'll just come back and help my tanks. And maybe later I'll go for you again. That's exactly right. Good.
Reality bends to my will. Teleport. I am claiming the objective. Support me.
Okay. So they did it.
Let them out.
They did it without you there, but they did it. Okay, so that's fine. I don't think our real premises have changed. You're going to need to practice your wall writing, and you're going to need to practice your wall writing a lot. Wall writing is useful because it changes the profile of where you're getting hit. It lets you jump between open spaces like this more safely. When you come off walls, want to generally be coming off walls on speed for the extra momentum, even if you then heal in the air. And then once you get your wall rider to a slightly comfortable level, you're going to start doing more of the, hey, I'm fighting for these corners against the other Lucio for Rhine dominance. But that's going to be hard to do at your current level of wall riding. Like, you're not going to be able to stay in this general area well enough without some more general wall riding practice. So, like, I can tell you to work on this, but you're just going to fall off the wall a lot or be like, okay, I'm here. And then, oh, shoot, now I'm way over here. I got to get back. So, like, you're just going to need some practice, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. We want to work on our wall riding. We want to know that we can jump off the walls in that way. And then the other thing that we can get you is you want to be sure you're doing a better job of enabling the people, especially Zarya, but enabling people to farm their additional poke, their additional charge, their additional all that stuff so that they can do that, and that you're denying people off these high grounds as Lucio. We could talk more about your crossfades, we could talk more about your amps, but I think those are things that you'll be leveling up forever, whereas they aren't in desperate need of it the way your wall riding is. But
Yeah.
the other stuff is more you can actually focus on this and get promising results as opposed to just grind 100 hours on your crossfades.
Yeah.
Do you
That makes
have
a lot of sense. I took all that down.
cool. Yeah. Do you have any questions? I can let you catch up on writing down before I ask that if you
Uh,
prefer.
no. I've got everything. No, you've given me like a lot to work on Lucio. So like I knew my wall writing needed work, but like all of this stuff about how I should be impacting fights is kind of what I needed to
Perfect.
know to continue grinding it. So I'll keep grinding the mechanics and hopefully I'll get better. I was actually gonna say that I really liked that the ultraviolet review. That was very
Ah,
helpful.
excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked that one. I may end up pulling something from this game actually and doing a review of someone else because I've got names here that make sense, but we'll see. It'll depend what my availability looks like.
Yeah. So I was actually thinking, since the new season, I'll probably have some games on my main that will
Okay.
be like probably around the same SR, but me on a roll that on the roll that I play. So I was hoping maybe we do another review in like a week or something once I get time to get
Absolutely.
some of those
Let
games
me
in.
let me go ahead and
I
stop
think
this
that
here as we get into scheduling.